What's up, guys? It's Zarek here. We got in-houses because regionals is happening in a little over a week, like almost exactly a week when this video is kind of like a week and change from when this video is coming out because it's going to come out in the evening, North American time, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, we got regionals coming up super soon. So all of these people who are going to be playing in regionals in a week are trying to get the best practice possible. So they're playing in-house lobbies with each other. As you can see, this is a super stacked lobby we are in right now. Spencer, Dish Soap, DK, Prestivan, Kiyun, Ashmu, Setsuko, and Rain. I believe Ashmu is actually not playing in regionals, though he is going to be playing in the Soju Invitational thing that's happening tomorrow. So I mean, I guess that's why he's playing with them. But yeah, overall, a really stacked lobby. We're watching Dish Soap POV because he did pretty well today. And the augment is Prismatic Prelude, by the way. So that's why we're here looking at, this setup here. Pandora's items, actually, the stats on this augment look really good. It gives you access to a ton of insanely strong Radiant items. The thing is, you do kind of have to greed for a broken one. Like, we have a Kale in our shop immediately. We could look to try to greed for a Kale item here. But yeah, what you don't want to do in a spot like this is just, like, slam, any Radiant item here. Like, he sees the Radiant Renans here, and I mean, it's a fine enough item, but I think Dish Soap in the spot, immediately, he sees the Kale and says, you know what? I'm gonna angle for Kale reroll. I'm gonna make the Gunblade, and maybe this can be a Kale game here. His second Radiant item, though, is this Crest of Cinders here, which is a fantastic Radiant item. Really, I mean, you could even potentially put it onto Kale. I think right now he's probably looking at stats right now to figure out, potentially what he will even play in this position here. And I will say, I looked a little bit ahead into the VOD. I do know what comp he plays this game. I mean, I wanted to VOD review this comp specifically because this is one that has been more prevalent on this patch. I do want to sort of like go into the video with sort of, not saying, okay, well, like, obviously, like, I know that he's going to play this comp, but I don't, Dish Soap doesn't know that yet. But I do see, he has the Senna in his shop here. The Radiant Red buff is a fantastic Senna item. So I think it makes a lot of sense in this position. And I think Dish Soap holding onto the Senna is already thinking we can potentially play a Senna reroll game from this spot. So Senna's a pretty interesting carry. You really want flat AP on her. Ideally, something like a Death Cap tends to be fantastic on her because she doesn't get AP from any other sources, right? She has True Damage with Rapid Fire, which give her the ability to cast a lot and damage amp on her abilities, but it doesn't give her that flat AP, which you really want the damage amp and the extra attack speed to scale with that. We also get a spat off Carousel here, which I think solidifies the fact that we really want to play True Damage in this position here, because now we have a True Damage spat, which can allow us, I mean, if we get multiple True Damage spats late game, we can play for like the win out, the Prismatic trait, but it can also just allow us to play less of sort of like the bad True Damage units later. So that's really cool. I'm interested. Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense to just slam this immediately here and basically say that at this point we are committed to playing around Senna reroll. I don't think he's not going to call it in chat, but it's almost, soft called. And these type of players are definitely good enough that they're going to scout Dish Soap's board and say, okay, he's playing Senna reroll from this position. But yeah, Senna got a pretty significant buff in this patch, not in the B patch, but in like the main patch earlier. I think I told you guys, but a B patch did come out. I think I mentioned that in the last video, I think. But yeah, so she is a very strong carry now in her own right. She was a little bit underwhelming on the previous patch, so I do think the buff was well placed. And so now I think the Senna reroll comp is sort of in just the like second tier of rerolls here. We have like the Seraphine and the Kales, which I've talked about a lot, and I think Senna is just right below that in like the A tier of rerolls, where she's fantastic from the right spot. We have this Radiant red buff, which is gonna be fantastic on her. We have this True Damage spat, which is fantastic. I mean, obviously not on her, but just for our ability to play the game. And we of course have the fact that we have multiple Sennas here. So yeah, already having two Sennas is really nice. You'll see a lot of people play around Punk very often when they are trying to play towards Senna, just because it's really easy to use the Punk rerolls to find Sennas, and also, obviously the rapid fire synergy. He's rerolling all of these items. He even wants to reroll the Gunblade here to just look for something better on the Senna. It's almost like we took the gold gold augment here for this the gold Pandora's augment, where we're rerolling a full component, a full item here, because we don't really want this Gunblade at this point. I think Dish Soap realizes that with the Radiant Red buff, we're always gonna have Radiant Red buff. which is a lot of attack speed and damage amp and heal cut, which is quite good on Senna. And we're always gonna have the Shojin because that's our super fan item. We do really need a damage item last. Death Cap, Archangels, something that gives us like flat AP. If we don't have that, our Senna's just not gonna be doing any damage. Like if our build is Rip Up Gunblade, our Senna's just gonna be no damage. Team building seems fantastic here as well. We already have 2 Sennas, so with this, that's essentially 2 more Sennas, so we're very close actually to random Senna 3. Lulu, interesting, but because we built this spat, we can't really play for it here. And so we're just going to roll to try to pick up some takeable Chosen here. He ends up skipping the Bard Chosen, but he picks up the Senna here, which is fantastic. And we roll into a Gnasher's Tooth here, which is, once again, like a pretty good Senna item. But the problem is we already have this red buff, which is infinite attack speed. So yeah, we are going to skip this this Gnasher's Tooth here and say, like, we can't accept this Gnasher's Tooth in this spot. We really just want this Gnashers to reforge into, say, like a tank item, and then just find one more Rod, make the Death Cap, and, you know, be on our way with our Senna items. I hear sword, sword, sword. What are these items? You know, nothing. I do not know what to say about that, but that is a pretty funny setup there. But yeah, I mean, we'll just keep rolling our items until we find something good. That is part of the reason why it's really, really nice to have this Radiant Pandoras when you're playing all these reroll comps. Reroll has become very, very dominant on this patch. I think it's some people have said that it's like the end-all be-all this patch where you have to play a reroll comp, you can't top 4. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think 80 Flex is still quite strong. Even stuff like Twisted Fate, like Disco, and like Akali Karthus type stuff is still good. But I do think reroll has definitely taken a front seat in the meta right now. There are a lot of people, you know, that person's playing Seraphine, that person's playing Katarina. Usually about half the lobby is playing reroll nowadays with the state of the meta right now. Finally, get this Rod. We end up taking it off carousel here, still using our free rerolls here to just look for, you know, better stuff. And we are eventually, you know, finally going to move these items over to Senna here. We don't have the ability to put Superfan in yet because we haven't picked up the Cannon. We are going to make Ionic Spark here. The Shred is still relevant when you're playing true damage, even though it's not as relevant because you're doing true damage. But Spark is just, one, like, good stats on your units, and 2, it is, yeah, the Shred is definitely relevant. There's the Echo, finally, which is a really, really nice in here, so we can play for 4 true damage. Make the, or just build the Crown Guard, put the Crown Guard on our unit here because we got it off the randomness of the Pandora's items, and we're I would say we're pretty happy with our spot, but the only downside is we're on an 8 loss here. I don't think our board is even that weak. It's just that we've rotated into a lot of strong people, and, you know, like, our Silver Augment doesn't spike our board. I'm a bit surprised this is a 9 loss spot, I will be honest with you. It's pretty scary here, honestly. We do pick up another Senna here, so we're only 2 off now with the Duplicator, and then if we get the extra Duplicator, obviously we will be only 1 off. So if we wait that long, it'll be good, but I don't think ideally we're going to be waiting that long. Ideally, we're going to be hitting Senna 3 like now because we don't want to die here. Interested to see if Dish rolls on 7 or 6 here, because I think there are definitely 2 schools of thoughts here. And yeah, he goes 7. I love this. I really love the level 7 roll here. You still have quite high odds picking up the Senna, and it's because you're only 2 off, it's pretty easy to find. But you gain the opportunity to hit stuff like Echo too. So that's really, really nice. He is going to keep the Heartsteel in for the cash out here. He really, really wants to be able to cash and be as strong as possible when he spikes his board. And we're going to win this fight now. I mean, the True Damage Zed was also a really, really good call out from Dish. This spiked his board a lot. And Blinged Out, I mean, you just take it immediately. Blinged Out, just the perfect possible augment in this position here. Gives you 6 true damage if you want to play a tier with the Isuo. We definitely want Nakali later if possible, but I mean, we can be very, very happy about this position. Gonna pick up the Nico too here, who's a really, really nice, and still doesn't have yeah, still not fitting Superfan into this board, I think just because he wants to play sort of like higher unit quality. Gonna roll a couple more times. Still not hitting here, but now we are, we at least hit enough upgrades that it's going to carry us to the round where we're gonna get our Duplicator. So pretty solid. Also, I really, really like this true damage. Kayn, he holds the Ionic Spark fantastically. Like, he holds these items so well. And of course, he's also Heartsteel here. So now we finally get our Heartsteel cash out. We are going to roll down here. We're actually still 1 round off of getting our final Duplicator. Yeah, we get it next round. This augment takes so long to get your Duplicators. But he does get the Senna 3, finally. Gets the Superfan in. And so now our board has spiked really hard. 31 HP, 4-3 here, level 7, 0 gold. I think in most comps, you'd be pretty unhappy about being in this position. I got to be real with you. But we are playing Senna reroll. We have really, really good items on Senna, so we can still play for a very solid placement here. I assume you're just going to take a 5 cost with good item, or with any item really, and yeah, that is a Kane, so now we have Kane pair. We would just, we wish we had a 5 cost duplicator here, something Kane 2 would go crazy, but there's always a chance we natural another one. I mean, if we're a Giga High Roller on 7, but, you know, like, potentially on level 8. There's the duplicator that I was talking about, and yeah, the struggle here is just what do you do in your position here where you're 5 true damage. You really want to get 6 in. He doesn't want to cut rapid fire though, because it's just such an integral synergy for the Senna. So yeah, we're just gonna sit here and play 5 true damage. I mean, the spike from 5 to 6 is not insane. I think this is a pretty interesting call from Dishtop here to say that the spike of playing 2 rapid fire here is bigger than the spike of actually playing 6 true damage. And I mean, it's Dish Soap, so I trust him on it. It's probably correct, but pretty wild actually that he makes that call out here. It's definitely not something I would definitely assume that 6 true damage would be better here, but we do in this set we sort of live in a world where like the higher you go up in the traits, you don't get that much value out of them. Like it's definitely almost better in a lot of circumstances to just play like the wideness as opposed to like the really high verticals. So yeah, makes sense. I'm getting that weird issue where every once in a while there's like a tiny little, like I lose like 1 frame of the video, but I mean, it's too much work to fix it. So you guys will just have to deal with like a stutter every like 2 minutes or something. I don't know. I notice it. Hopefully you guys don't notice it at all. Though you probably do. You guys are astute viewers, are you not? Looking just to finish our echo items out here. I mean, I like the Warmogs. That's probably what I would go for here. It looks like he wants to spread a combo. I mean, oh, he wants, wait, what? Fuck. Why do we make a Sunfire here? What? I can't imagine that's correct. I don't know why we would make a Sunfire in this position. We already have a Radiant red buff onto our Senna here. I have to assume that's a mistake. Maybe... Yeah, I cannot imagine a world where that would be better. I don't know. I don't understand that whatsoever. But we do get to get 6 true damage in here. And our board is still pretty strong. We lose a pretty close fight, but our board is definitely still solid here. We lost to, I think that was a relatively strong board here. And we have all of our upgrades at this point, except for like the Kane too. Really important. Dishop's done a really, really good job of spreading versus that Seraphine player. Also, we fight Setsuko. Like, Setsuko, in half the games of these in-houses, man, just try to roll down for a 3-star 4 cost and died. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing, honestly. Very strange player. Because, like, he like, played this, like, you know, like, Giga Troll stuff where he's rolling for, like, 3-star 4 cost and missing and just, like, ending the entire game away. But then he would also do stuff where he would just play, like, a beautiful game with true 2s. And just like win the entire lobby. Also, rolling on A tier to find Kane 2 is definitely not bad. We're 20 HP here, so Dishop wanted to roll down for an upgrade here. Decided, I mean, the only thing you can find in this position is Kane 2, but thought, you know, like the chance of finding it is better than my chance of going 9 on this board. But now that we have this Kane 2, we are super, super juiced. Look at this Kane, farms 3 gold here. He's an absolute beast with these items. I mean, they just fit so well on him, and they fit so well on the board. So fantastic spot to be in, at least with regard to the Kane. We're looking for less echo item here. It doesn't really exist on this carousel. TG doesn't do much either. What do you even take here? Oh, it's I would just think it's Ramble Vest here. But he takes the Pentakill Spat. I have to assume that's the deny. Oh, duh. You can roll the Pentakill Spat. It's a craftable spat, and then you can actually play for 9 true damage when out. Oh, that's pretty good. It means that you need to pick up an Akali. What are we missing here? We have Akali. We have the Spat. We have the true damage. So what are we missing? Oh, we don't have, no, we do. Oh, and Kiana and Akali. We need to pick Kiana, Akali, and then roll this into a true damage spat, and we actually win the lobby. Pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty standard thing, I would say, to play for this when you have this any of the Pandoras, and you can, you know, roll for the spats here. But, you know, very smart stuff from Dish Soap to know that he can play for this and it potentially can win him the lobby. He's only these Caitlyn's, I believe, to deny a... I'm thinking to deny a Caitlyn 3 because I know I watched this game with like some other people earlier, or I watched some of it. Why is the rest of the song so quiet? I'm going the next song. But I don't see the Caitlyn immediately. I mean, it must be to deny a Caitlyn 3. I mean, that's the only reason why you would ever do this. Gets an 8-bit spat. I mean, still, we're just going to continue rolling here. I would think to try to find something better here. Because, yeah, I mean, we want true damage. And, I mean, we've seen a decent number of them. Not that that makes it any more likely that we see another one. There's a 5-cost duplicator, so we would have had Kane 2 here regardless. But yeah, we're just gonna roll down here. Picks up a Caitlyn. I mean, the idea is just that Caitlyn. Oh, I mean, he just wants to play Caitlyn over the Aphelios. It's really expensive, right? But I mean, Caitlyn 2 is Caitlyn 2. So that's the idea. Finally finds the Akali, duplicates it to make Akali 2, and is just going to play this board right now. Gets the Warmogs for the Echo, and we're fighting a pretty strong country board. Okay, look, I'm sorry. I'm a little slow today. I'm recording this VOD review at 11 p.m. and it's going to go out a little bit after that. I wanted to give you guys a video, but I watched so much TFT with Kai and Demacian Raptor earlier today that my brain is melting out of my eyes. So sorry if, yeah. The 8-bit spat comes back here, which is a pretty cool idea. But just so everyone knows, he's 5 HP. He cannot afford to wait one more round and roll for a 2 damage spat here. So we just get 8-bit spat for the Caitlyn. To give 8-bit to the Caitlyn, and it's 8-bit onto the Akali, and we're very happy with that. Fighting a Lulu 3 board here. Ooh, and that was really, really scary. The Lulu was locked onto our Senna for a few of those early autos in the fights, but the really nice thing about Lulu into a tanky backliner is you can often have Lulu hit your backliner a couple of times, and then your front line shifts a little bit because, say, like the Echo dies or the Kennen dies or something, and then it doesn't hit your Senna anymore, and that's exactly what happened in this fight. Senna got hit by like 2 Lulu ults, but then not another ult, and she managed to live and finish off the fight. We are going to fight DK's board here, which is this really, really strong Yasuo reroll board here. We get through a lot of it. Oh, but the Radiant, or not the Radiant Edge of Night, but just the Edge of Night there ends up taking us out, and it is going to be a third from Dish Soap. Could have easily been a top 2, actually. I mean, that fight could have easily gone either way. Really, really close with Fight RNG. But yeah, what to show you guys this comp? I think it is a very, very cool one. I mean, I'm not going to show the rest of the game because I got to piece out of here so I can upload this video. So you guys have a video to watch today. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch. All my other links down below. Subwar signups end. I'm all blurry now. Subwar signups end Friday night. So get your signups in for those. The link is in the video 2 videos ago. Or just go to my Twitter, go to my Discord, and you can see a link for it. Okay, bye. If you're this far into the video, I'm going to give you guys a $600 RP code. I'm going to say the code right now. ZQ. I don't actually have one. I'm sorry.